Long ago, in the ancient Guangxu Valley in China, lived a powerful snake named Ling. Ling lived alone in a cave where he had piles upon piles of treasures that he had gathered from across all the lands of China. Ling had the most treasures in all of Guangxu Valley, but he was not content. His treasures could not satisfy his desire. One day, he decided that he would not be happy until he had all of the treasures in all of Guangxu Valley. Ling was cunning and deceitful, so he devised a plan in order to get all the treasures of the valley, and only then would his desire be fulfilled. The next week came, and he left his cave in search of all the treasures. He was traveling through the road when he spotted a hut. He walked over to the hut and knocked on the door. The door was opened by an old pig. Ling spoke to the pig and said, "Mr. Pig, I am a poor traveler in need of some shelter." "Please come in," said the pig. The night came, and while the pig was sleeping, Ling stole all the pig's things and left. He continued down the road in search of more treasures. On the side of the road he saw a rabbit and said, "Rabbit, I am very hungry. Could you give me some food?" "Yes," said the rabbit, "come to my house where there is food." They went to the rabbit's house. While the rabbit went to get food, Ling took all of his treasures and left. On continued to search for treasures. He continued until he had tricked and outsmarted all the creatures of the valley to get their treasures. Ling went back to his cave with all the treasures he had stolen. His cave was overflowing with the treasures he had taken, and he sat in his golden chair and admired them. But something was wrong. Even after he had completed his quest to gain all the treasures in the valley, he was not happy. He wondered what could be missing if he had everything he wanted in the past. Weeks went by until he finally figured out what was missing. He was lonely. He had all the treasures of the valley, but he had no friends. He thought, how can I fix this? How can I get friends if I've stolen from everybody in the valley? Then he had an idea. The next day he woke up and he left his cave again. But this time he went with all his treasures. First he went to the pig and gave back what he had taken. Then he went to the rabbit, and he went to everybody in the valley until he had no more treasures to give. He went back to his cave, happier than he had ever been. He didn't have any gold or silver, but he had what he wanted most, friends. From that day on, Ling never wanted gold or silver again, because he had what he considered the greatest treasure, friendship.